This movie is goodbye to the 80s and a film for the 90s. Basically, the end of the yuppies, the end of the Wall Street superstructure, the spiritual recession, and directly into the heart of the current crisis, which hopefully is a useful one, a search for something that's actually valuable, an attempt to redefine America in non-materialistic terms. This is a silent movie in color, with wall-to-wall music by John Adams and the Tibetan monks of Dharamsala. The film is therefore hardly silent. It, in fact, makes an enormous amount of noise, but people don't talk in it. Why is that? Well, for one thing, of course, the great age of cinema acting, of the silent movies, the great D.W. Griffith, the great Murnau, the great, well, the Gish sisters, and so on. That's a level of acting that one rarely sees because it's comes from a kind of liberation of the soul of performers who are able to go deep, deep, deep within. And we're very, very privileged in this film that you're about to see to have a great series of artists who offer something very profound. Of course, beyond that is the fact that perhaps you could say my generation, the generation of the 80s, was a silent generation. We didn't speak out, certainly nowhere near enough. And I suppose the silence of this movie, of the characters in this movie, has to do with that. Also, though, and perhaps more seriously, 80% of your life, at least, you're not talking. We don't talk all the time. Most of our lives we spend watching, listening, thinking, and feeling. And theater and movies that come from theater basically make you think that you talk all the time. But what actually are you doing most of your life? This is a movie about most of your life, when you're not saying anything. The minute you start to talk, you, of course, always begin inventing things and, well, lying, frankly. And this film is an attempt to get past the point of lying, both before it and after it, to a point where you haven't yet convinced yourself what you think, much less attempted to convince anyone else. Those private moments, those personal moments of pure feeling.